Welcome, Slayer the Alchemist. And on today's episode, remembering Ronnie James Dio. It's the day after the anniversary of Ronnie's passing, the 15-year anniversary, which is hard to believe that it's been 15 years. I wasn't planning on making a video, but I saw a couple other people's videos, and it just got me thinking about Ronnie, and I was kind of thinking about it all day. I didn't have a chance to make the video last night, so I thought I would do it this morning. But what's to be said about Ronnie James Dio, right? He's in my opinion the greatest metal singer of all time. He's maybe the best metal lyricist of all time. He's a true ambassador of heavy metal. He was so intelligent. He was so well spoken. Whenever you saw interviews with him, it was always kind of like, yeah, if I had to have somebody represent heavy metal and talk about heavy metal and it's the strength of heavy metal, the good things about heavy metal, I would want it to be Ronnie James Dio. He just always came across as such a well-spoken, articulate, intelligent guy. And I remember where I was as I was seeing other people talking about it on Facebook and some videos and stuff. I saw Sea of Tranquility, Pete Pardo, talking about where he was when he heard that Ronnie died. And I just clearly remember where I was. I was at a baseball game for my son, just kind of sitting outside on a hill or something like that, watching him, like practicing or playing a game or something. And like Pete had mentioned, we were all aware that Ronnie was ill, that he was battling cancer. But he had made an appearance at, I think it's called the Golden Gods Award or something, and he looked good. He was there, and I thought, wow, maybe Ronnie has beaten this, and it was exciting and nice to see Ronnie out and everything. And it wasn't too long after that, if I remember correctly, that he passed. And so when I was sitting out at this baseball game, somebody sent me a message. It might have been Darren, or I'm not sure who. Somebody sent me a message that Ronnie had passed, and it hit me, man. It really hit me because I talk about this on my channel. My core six, my big six: Maiden, Priest, Dio, Sabbath, Ozzy, AC/DC, in no particular order. Those were the bands that were the most influential bands on me. I'm a huge Black Sabbath fan. I'm a huge fan of Ronnie's time in Black Sabbath, Ronnie's solo band, and just of everything that Ronnie did. So it really hit me, and I think it hit me hard because people who had passed before this, that heavy metal, hard rock artists that were really into, they all seem to have died from rock star type things. Misadventure. Bon Scott chokes on his own vomit. Jimi Hendrix chokes on his own vomit. Whatever happened to Bonnie, falls asleep in a car and has trouble breathing. John Bonham, all these people that died from like substance abuse issues, partying. Randy Rhoads dies in a small plane crash. These are all things that it seemed like this is rock stars. This type of thing happens to rock stars. I don't know anybody that flies in a small plane, or, you know what I mean? These are things that like, not they were horrible, and I wish that they didn't happen. But there was something about Ronnie's passing, that he died from something that was, he had cancer, and cancer is something that affects millions and millions of people. Everybody in their life, I'm sure, has probably known somebody or had somebody close to them that's been affected by cancer. And Ronnie was, I don't remember how old he was when he passed, but he was older. So this was a kind of thing that it hit home differently, because it made me realize that my heroes, my hard rock, heavy metal heroes, that they're human, that they can die from the same things that an aunt or an uncle or a grandparent or a friend, it can happen to them. So it kind of hit me in a way, and it made me feel old too. It's sort of like, say, a part of my youth was sort of ended when Ronnie passed, because it made me realize the mortality of my heavy metal heroes, and it also made me acutely aware of my mortality too. And this is no lie, I'm not making this up. When I heard try not to get choked up talking about it, when I heard the news that Ronnie had passed, I looked up in the sky and there was a rainbow in the sky. I mean, yeah, it really hit me. And after my son's baseball game was over, I went to this park not too far from where I where I lived at the time in Pennsylvania, and there was a stream and everything, and I was listening to some of Ronnie's music, and I remember I listened to "This Is Your Life" from Angry Machines, the last song on Angry Machines, and I remember it really being really hitting me. And I remember exactly where I was sitting in that park when I heard that. And I don't live in Pennsylvania anymore, but we were back visiting about a year ago, and we went to that park, and I remember that exact location, and I was thinking of Ronnie then. I remember when the movie came out, the documentary on Ronnie, and it was in the movie theater. I went into it, and I'm an emotional person. I mean, I know no shame in saying that I get choked up real easy. I got choked up a second ago talking about the rainbow in the sky, but I get choked up real easily, and I'll cry, And so I was fully expecting, like, okay, obviously they're going to talk about Ronnie's passing, and I was thinking that, I'm going to try to hold it together so I don't like become a blubbering mess inside a movie theater. And I got through it. I got through when they were talking about his passing and everything. But then at the end of the movie, when they go into the there's like bonus interviews or something at the end of the movie. And I think it's Wendy telling the story about Ronnie getting off a plane and some kid being, I don't know if he was on a water tower or something like that, and he was going to jump, and he wanted to speak to Ronnie, and Ronnie gets up on like some forklift thing that the fire department has, and brings him up there, and he talks to the kid, and he brings the kid down, and he spends all this time with the kid, and that's when I started crying. Because, like I said, Ronnie was just this guy that you were proud. You were proud that he was part of our scene. So, just wanted to do a video remembering Ronnie James Dio. 15 years.